Hi everybody, George Bruno here, also known as the Sultan of Silver. And I want to give you a beard trim update. I've been aching to trim my beard recently because I'm a changeaholic. I like reinventing myself. And for me, beard is like artwork that you wear on your face. And I like changing things in the same way that you might take a painting off of one wall and hang it on another wall, or take a sculpture and put it in another corner of a room and it changes the room. That's what I do with the hair in my face. So I'm not a ruffian, a villain, part of a brotherhood, part of a society or some kind of thing like that. I don't wear t-shirts and shirts and patches and all this kind of stuff identifying me with that, because it'll all change. I will tell you this, it helps identify me. Like, for instance, I called my pharmacist and I said, "Hey Becky, this is George Bruno," and I just heard silence. And I go, "The guy with the big white beard?" She goes, "Oh yes, how are you?" So it has helped identify me. Has it changed my life? Professionally, yes, it has. 2 years ago, when I grew my first real big beard, people would walk into the salon and who had a beard and want like a haircut. Like, men would come in and say, I want a haircut and a beard trim. Then they would say, "I want that guy over there." So it instantly brought me business. And then, here's an interesting observation. I shaved the beard off. I went back to a goatee and scruff, and the beard business went right down. Interesting, isn't it? And then I grew it back, and then guess what? It built back up again, which was interesting. And in the past, I'd say 14 months, I established myself, and it's only been 14 months, believe it or not. You have not been following me for years. You've been following me for a year. That's how fast it's been. I've established myself as one of the top stylists in the world and the #1 beard artist, beard stylist in the world. People come from 17 states and 5 countries to sit in my chair. Men have flown to Philadelphia from overseas, take an Uber ride, came to the salon, got a haircut and a beard trim, and got an Uber ride back to the airport and flew back home. Is it crazy? I used to think stuff like that was crazy. And then when it started happening to me, I'm like, hey, go for it. So that was kind of fun. Has it changed my life in any way? Yeah, it makes me more identifiable. I feel like I'm in the witness protection program because I don't have like terrible scars or, like a weird face or anything like that. So I'm not covering anything up. So I'm just it's a change. For me, it's a way to change my face, and I'm a changeaholic. I love change. So here's the thing. I'm walking through Bass Pro, Marshalls, out and about on a city street, clean shaven or goatee. No one says anything. I grow a big beard everywhere I go. And I mean everywhere. And the people who are part of my posse who are with me, they're actually tired of this. That, like, literally, "What's up, brother? Nice beard, brother. On point, brother. Hey, man, you are my beard goal, brother." And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So the biggest change for me since I've had a beard is people call me brother more. People didn't call me anything before. Now it's brother. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But being called brother doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't support 3 children. It doesn't help you live in a house on a beach or take care of elderly parents. So you constantly have to reinvent yourself. I tell you that you must reinvent yourself. I make the mistakes. I have made mistakes, so you don't have to make them. That's why I'm completely transparent, and I share my deepest, darkest things with you. And hopefully those that have had like deep, dark moments can say, holy crap, there's someone else out there. Because I have found, as I teach in beauty academies all across the country, one of the things that I teach is the #1 skill for stylists. #1 skill for stylists and barbers is empathy, feeling with your client. Not sympathy. Sympathy is feeling sorry for somebody. Empathy is feeling with them, being on their level. So that's what I like to think that I specialize in, is that I'm using my empathy when I work with my clients. Because when people sit in my chair, they come for more than just a haircut or a beard trim. When women come to my chair, they come to feel beautiful. When men come to my chair, they come to feel handsome and to be able to make better decisions and walk taller. So that's how I like to view my career. I took a humble trade and turned it into an honorable profession. But let's get back to the beard trim thing. I was just getting ready to trim the beard, and I'll tell you why. I got a call 2 weeks ago, an email from a production company in New York City, and they're big fans of my YouTube channel and Instagram. Big fans. If I said their name, you would know who they are. They produce shows like Man vs. Food, A&E Biography, the biggest cable shows that you've heard of. And this company has created stars. And think of some of the guys with beards, okay? They've created them. They made them. So this company saw me and they love me. They shared it with me in an email and said, get back with us ASAP. You are a show. You're a character. And I'm like literally, and I'm getting ready to shave this thing off or buzz it off. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll hang on to this beard a little bit longer and see what happens. So I ended up having a Skype meeting with this casting director. And usually, I remember when I was in the world of like work, actually had like employers and bosses and timesheets and clock in and clock out and all that bullshit. I'll never forget, in the interviewing world, you know, you'd interview for a job, you come home, and those that you love say to me, well, how'd it go? And you're like, I really don't know. So I learned over the years that when I was in that type of world, to ask periodically throughout an interview, so how am I doing so far? What do you think? Are we on target with what you're looking for? So that way, when I would come home, I'll never forget, my wife would say, how'd it go? I knew exactly how it went. I knew how it was on a scale of 1 to 10. I knew if I was going to hang in there. I knew if it was just, I should be knocking on some other doors. I also learned that I also need to be knocking on anywhere between 5 and 7 doors at all times. You hear me? Always be knocking on 5 to 7 doors at all times. The old people used to say, the old folks used to say, always have more than one iron in the fire. Okay? Because if one cools off, you got another one blazing red hot, ready to use. So a week went by. I didn't hear anything. The Skype interview. Here's the thing. After about an hour and a half of the Skype interview, face to face with this casting director, I had said to her, "So how am I doing?" Because that's inquiring minds want to know. I don't like mysteries, and I'm in charge of my future. I don't like other people to be in charge of my future and my income and so forth. So I said, so how am I doing? She goes, usually these hardly last 15 to 20 minutes, and we've been on the phone for an hour and a half, so I think you're doing pretty good. I thought, oh, that's nice. That's good. And I was talking to her. She said, this is not an audition. You're not auditioning like you used to do when you were a commercial actor and a model. She goes, this is not a job interview. She goes, let's just talk. Just the way that I'm talking to you right now, this is exactly what we did. And some of her, comments and questions were, she goes, here you are, this guy in this industry, you talk about life and counseling and therapy and hair and grooming and philosophy and digging yourself out of a hole and getting unstuck, but you got this image like you're like this badass biker guy, which I'm really not. I'm the farthest thing from a badass biker guy, but I can walk into the most badassest biker bar and fit right in. Now, what's interesting is image is deceiving, okay? Because when you talk to me and you get to know me, you know there's really nothing badass about me. I'm focused, I'm determined, I'm relentless, nothing is going to stop me. I'm all about business, I'm personable, but I'm not badass. Badass means you're kind of holding people off at a distance. I don't want to do that. I've never been one of those isolationists. I want to give people a reason to talk to me and to approach me, not to stay away from me. So that's kind of like where I'm coming from, and you've gotten to know me in the past year for that. So she says, you got this image. She says, yet you're talking like a Wall Street banker, and you're talking like a guru, and you're talking like an expert in human behavior, which I have all of those qualities, but I'm trapped in this body with a big white beard and tattoos, and I like motorcycles, but that doesn't necessarily make one badass. Otherwise, all you have to... that means then you can just buy badassness, and badassness can't be bought. I don't care what motorcycle or how many tattoos you have. That does not a badass make. Okay, let me put it that way. So we had a great conversation. She wanted me to write up a quick little bio of what my philosophy of life is and some things, and send in some pictures and so forth. And I realized that some of the photos that I have are badass, okay? My resting face is kind of like a mean, grumpy face. I'm never grumpy, but there's times where if I'm just standing there like this, I look mean. And I don't want to be mean, so I got to like purposely like raise my eyebrows. And if I turn up my stash a little bit, I look a little bit friendlier. So that's kind of a neat thing. It makes me happy. You know, I gotta actually go out of my way to look a little bit more pleasant and approachable. Okay, a lot of times eyebrows down and a mustache blending into the beard can be slightly intimidating to the average person. And I never want to be that way. I want to be open and approachable. So she took all that information. A week went by. And honestly, I've been thinking, man, this doggy is coming off. It's going to go back down to scruff. It's going to go back to 2015 level with like a number 2 mustache and beard. I'm not going to line it up, but just like a nice face and neck beard, very short. And I got my new haircut, short haircut, tight on the sides. Get a nice tan for the summer, and I like that look on me. That's a good look. It's proven to be a nice, fun, approachable look that works well for me. And it's a nice option in the summertime. One of the things I miss is having options. When you have a beard, it's like, okay, you have a beard. So there's been times where I braid it, ponytail it, handlebar mustache it, blend it in. I've done different things. And frankly, I think I've run out of options. I don't know what else to do. But my business still grows. I'm still like the top beard artist in the world, and people literally send me 3-page emails about their beards. It's a beard! But that's okay. I take you seriously, like you take me seriously. And because I'm an empath, an empathetic person, I feel for you. I know what your struggle is. That's where I come from. That's my thing, is I feel for people. I can't harden myself. I want to be a ZFG, a 0 F's given kind of guy. But even when I say 0 F's given, secretly, there's still a lot of F's hanging out in the back there, because I do give a shit about things and people and animals and all that stuff. So that's how my heart is constructed. That's how I am. Bottom line, in the next week, I was planning to buzz this sucker off. Guess what happened? So I just thought, you know what? Let me give this casting director a call, because a lot of times no news means nothing. I had to talk with her today. She says, hang in there. We're still pitching you to that network, which I'm not going to say. And she says, I pitched you to the head of our company, the CEO. He loves you. And she says, just hang in there. She says, whether that big network wants the show with you as the host, or we create something around you, this is her exact words, and I kid you not, she says, it's win-win either way for you. So she says, just hang in there a little bit more. I said, okay, no problem. Because it's business. You learn to you don't detach your decisions from your emotions. If you live by your emotions, it's just up and down. It's like yo-yo day, up and down. Detach yourself. There is no downside to detaching yourself. When you put all your hope in one thing and that one thing falls through, it's like, oh, you're bummed for a week, 2 weeks, a month, forever, whatever. Always have irons in the fire. Detach yourself. If you have 7 irons in the fire and one thing falls through, don't take joy in the fact that you have 6 more in the fire. Add another one. Always have 5 to 7 games going at all times, whether it be sources of income, hustles, opportunities. Always be knocking, always be turning over stones. Don't stop. I've seen a lot of people start a lot, but not a lot of people finish. I want you to finish. So that's the update. That's why this beard is still here today. You run into obstacles along the way that will give you a little bit of doubt. I had some medical news today, which sucks. So I found out that I'm a type 1. So I got to make some changes, lose more weight, move more. I don't have a choice. It's either do that stuff and in 3 months, or the doctor makes changes for me. And right now I'm not feeling any of the effects of being type 1 diabetic. So I need to stay as healthy as possible. And I'm one, rather than popping medicines, and believe me, in the past year, after not being to the doctor for many years, I take a damn handful of medications. I'm a behavior modification guy. If there's something I can modify in my diet or behavior as opposed to popping another pill, I will do it. So to me, that's throwing the gauntlet down. That's a challenge to me. So I can't wait to get back to a different weight. I can't wait to start moving more and being a little more, you know what I mean? I put air in my basketball. I blew up my football. I oiled the bearings on my roller skates. So I'm stepping up to the challenge. In your life, I want you to step up to your challenge, no matter what it is. Do not put all your eggs in one basket like the old folks used to say. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you drop that basket, all the eggs are broke. Have several eggs in several baskets and have several irons in the fire. If you don't do that, you're going to run out of options. Keep the options open all the time. Always have doors that you're knocking on and stones that you're turning over. Like salespeople say, always be closing. Always, ABC, always be closing. And like I like to say, coffee is for closers, man. Coffee is for closers. So I hope that helps. That's motivating and answers some questions that you have. Thank you for your support. I have started jacked up the coaching business from just occasional coaching to part-time level coaching as well. So if you're interested in gaining traction and obtaining change in your lifetime, the cost of not changing is more important than the cost, than the money that you spend to achieve change. Not changing is so much more expensive and so much more depressing in the long run. So I challenge you. If you want change, feel free to seek me out, gb@georgebruno.com. And we can go back and forth, and I'll show you what those terms are and what I do. Okay? I hope that helps, everybody. Have a great day. And I'm not going to say beard on, because that's not who I am. I'm going to say just be who you are. Be the best that you can be. And learn to respect yourself, which means that you're choosing the right relationships, you're eating the right food, you're moving, you're doing the best, because this body and this mind, as my friend Stacy Redfield says, is meant to last a lifetime. You can do it. I know you can, because I believe in you. Now go out and do it.